Good evening, lads, and welcome back to the Fergie Way with me, Teach FM. Now, you're probably looking at the camera now going, Teach, what the fuck are you wearing that hat for? No, I'm not on my way to an armed blag. I've just come in from work, really wanted to get stuck into recording this episode because I'm a little bit behind at the moment. And, where I live on a little tiny rock in the middle of the Irish Sea, and when it gets cold here, it gets really fucking cold. So a hat is a must at this time of year. Other than that, of course, today's episode, massive one. We are playing Tottenham in the Champions League semi-finals. It's the first leg. We're hoping to go and get a win out of it because it's pretty important, this competition, as we all know. It is the one we're going for. So we'll run the intro, and I'll see you on the other side. So there's not been a right lot in the way of news since the last episode. However, the one bit of news we have had is Young Player of the Month. Now, we didn't feature in Manager of the Month once again, and nor did we feature in Player of the Month. However, Marcus Rashford has picked up the Young Player of the Month award. He only played 2 games, but did grab himself a couple of goals across them games. Average rating of 7.85, and once again, Young Sri Lanka coming second, which is good to see. Reece Nelson, of course, coming in third for Swansea. Not a bad setup really, but at least we're up in there with these kids again, which is always great to see. And injuries, fucking injuries. As you all know, Juan Mata is out for pretty much the remainder of the season. We already know that. But Zlatan Ibrahimovic got a 4-week injury. It's down to 2 or 3 weeks now. But needless to say, at the stage of his career, have we seen him make his last appearance at United? It may be the case. I'm still very much undecided as to what I'm going to do with him. We don't know whether we're going to be here next season, so it's not really a hinging sort of decision that I have to make just now. But nonetheless, unfortunately, we'll not be seeing him before the season's out. I mean, we might do in the very last game of the season or something. If he's back, he's certainly got to get a swan song because he's been a big part of the Fergie Way. And frustratingly, we've lost another striker, Memphis. He's got himself a 12 to 15 day injury. Okay, he would be back before the end of the season, but of course we've got 2 important games coming up against Tottenham in the Champions League semi-final, and we've only now got Marcus Rashford and Martial as our strikers, so it just leaves us a bit short, especially when you consider that Memphis has actually been our top goal scorer this season. I mean, scoring 30 goals in 24 games, not bad at all for the lad, but bearing in mind, we're now going to be without him. Bit of a pain in the arse when you consider the importance of these fixtures. So as I say, I'm just going to sort the squad by goals here. Now, fortunately, we've still got Martial. He scored 25 goals. But, as you know, Rashford's had a couple of little injuries. Obviously, he's just picked up Young Player of the Month. He's come back. But his last 5 games, 7.18. Not the greatest. But he's managed to score 17 goals, get 14 assists. So I'm just hoping, sort of fingers crossed, that Marcus Rashford and Martial can actually carry us through the Champions League semi-final. Now, bearing in mind, Tottenham also beat us not so long ago. They're going to be a little bit buoyed up by that. But, yeah, I would have really liked to have had all 4 strikers, so at least I could make an informed decision rather than being tunnelled into making the choice of my 2 strikers. So in last night's episode, of course, we were in the FA Cup semi-final against West Brom. And the only game we've had since then is Everton, and we managed to win 4-1. Now, it's going to almost look like we walked it here, but if you take a look, Gomez didn't get the first goal until the 61st minute, so we'd played an hour down at Everton before we'd managed to get a goal. As you can see, their shots were 8 shots, we had 32. Now, up until that hour mark, Everton had made a bloody good account of themselves. In fact, it was to the point where I felt like they were going to nick it and we were going to come away with nothing. So then we went ahead and scored. Angel Gomez went ahead and scored the first goal. And then Romagnoli added a second in what was highlight terms. It was only like a highlight later. It felt like we'd scored 2 in 2 minutes, but it hadn't been the case. And then we got a bit of breathing space. It was like game over, job done. And then Everton went and scored. And Arnautovic grabbed a goal in the 73rd minute. And I thought, well, Jesus fucking Christ, we're going to end up throwing this away here after having such a tough start. Got 2 goals. Then Martial and Rashford came on. They'd both come on for the 2 strikers I was playing, which was Memphis Depay and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan's injury came from this game. Memphis got one afterwards. But both the strikers came on. And within 8 minutes, both grabbed the goal each. So if there's anything we can hang on to about the Spurs game today, it's the fact that both Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial are off the back of a goal-scoring game in the previous game. So a little bit of luck, we might get something out of it. So we're back on the schedule. Needless to say, there is nothing else to talk about. There is nothing else gone on. What we're going to do now is head straight into the team selection screen to see who we've picked for this massive game against Tottenham today. It is at home, so we have the home advantage, but can we make it count? That's the big question. So as we head into the team selection screen now, I must admit, the press have got us down as a draw, and we are very, very slight favourites by the bookies. So it is pretty much seen as an even keel. Not the sort of thing we're expecting to see here on the Fergie Way. However, it's just the way the cookie crumbles at this end of the season. So we'll take a look at our squad first. We have De Gea in net, Alaba, Bailly, Smalling and Sidibe at the back. Pogba, Neves, Sanchez in the middle. Of course, Gribbin in for the injured Juan Mata. And then we have Martial and Rashford up top because we don't have much else choice. Sidibe's in for Darmian. It's more based on a fitness issue. But yeah, other than that, I pretty much feel I've got the strongest team that's certainly available to me at the moment. Sanchez has been playing a cracker. I did toy with the idea of dropping Herrera in there, but Herrera's on the bench if we need to make changes. So we'll move on to the Spurs team. They've got Lloris in net, Danny Rose, Vertonghen, Alderweireld and Walker at the back. Then have Eric Dier, Del Alli in the middle. Then Felipe Anderson, Eriksen, Lamela, and then Roberto Firmino up top. Now, bearing in mind, Firmino absolutely destroyed us in the last game, so I'm going to be trying to give him everything. So we'll move on to Roy's Room of Pain, or, you know, the Irish Inflictor of Pain, or whatever it is. It's probably never been so important for Roy to give us some decent advice today. And he has got hard tackling and shown Firmino onto his weaker foot, so I'm going to take him at his word. However, we're also going to hard tackle these boys here because, I mean, if we force an injury, they won't be there for the next leg, will they? So it's always a benefit. I do feel we can beat Tottenham. I'm making it sound like they're the stronger team and we're the weaker team. We should be winning, but we seem to have sort of just hit this slope as we've got towards the end of the season. And I don't know, I feel very uneasy about this, but I think it's more because of the importance of the fixture as well. So we'll go to the team talk. And you know what? I've not said it for a while. Well, I say that more like they never agree with me. But for the fans, it doesn't really do anything, but I'm not going to panic. There's no worries there because we'll just tell them all that we have faith in them to make a difference, and I'm pretty sure we'll get some greens. We're missing one at the moment, and that's it. So we've got everybody green with the exception of one. Eric Bailly's only on good morale at the moment. Hopefully he'll put in a couple of good tackles earlier on in the game and he will up that. And other than that, as we can see from a sharpness point of view, Anthony Martial, and from a fitness point of view, Ruben Neves, they're what we're keeping an eye on. But hopefully we can start well, grab an early goal, and just put everybody's mind at rest for a little bit. So it's Sidibe now throwing in from the right. Sanchez back to Sidibe. Sidibe crosses. It's Gribbin on the edge. Pogba gets in there. First goal, first blood. We've got literally... Oh, sorry. Eric Dier own goal, but who cares, really? There was literally just a minute on the clock when the shot was took. So as it comes down there, Pogba smacks it. Lloris stood no chance. It looks like it clipped Dier's shoulder of all things. But we'll take it. 1 minute in, we've got the lead. Eriksen standing over a free kick, hits the bar, very nearly puts them on level terms immediately. Of course, away goals, massive in this fixture. So we want to try and keep Tottenham out. It's Sanchez clears the ball. Martial will pick it up. Only 5 minutes on the clock, but a very even start to the game as Lamela does foul Martial. Stops the attack. But yeah, we're winning. Sidibe now. Out to Gribbin. Gribbin's still got the ball. He's cutting inside. Gribbin to Bailly. What the fuck is Bailly doing up there? Firmino wins the ball for Spurs now. He will clear it, but he can only put it out for a throw-in. Gets closed down very quickly, but with 12 minutes on the clock, and it's pretty even. That's the scary thing. We're at Old Trafford as well. It's Alaba now to Pogba. Callum Gribbin plays it back out to Alaba. Will Alaba hit a cross? He does. Looks like Lloris had to tip it over the bar. We are going to get a corner. But at the moment, 28 minutes in and each team's only had 2 shots each. It's Sanchez. Gets the ball took off him. It's cleared out, but only as far as Sidibe, who has picked up a booking. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We certainly don't want to be losing any place because it always fucking happens in Europe, doesn't it? But 37 minutes on the clock now. Time's draining down quite fast. It's Alaba now to Sanchez. Pogba to Rashford. Rashford to Martial. To Pogba. Pogba takes a shot. Lloris manages to push it round the post. But still, it's been a very quiet game. Gribbin. Eric Dier manages to pick the ball. He clears it out, but not too far. Sidibe will get there, and he does. Neves to Bailly. End of the highlight. Nice one. Gribbin standing over a free kick. Whips it in. Martial's picked up the loose ball now. Still Martial to Pogba. Gribbin, Smalling, Sanchez, off another deflected shot. This time Hugo Lloris sort of spares his blushes. This one comes back off the post. We do end up with a corner though. It's Gribbin crossing it in. Pogba arriving, puts the ball over the bar. 43 minutes on the clock. It looks like we're going to hold a slender 1-goal lead going in at half-time. But check out the ratings of the strikers. Both of them on fairly good morale. Not what we want to see, but unfortunately, we don't really have a right lot we can do about it. So I'm going to tell the guys that I'm far from pleased with what I've seen from this team. And assertively going to have to tell these boys that we need... Oh no, I'll tell you what, assertively, I have faith you can improve. So let's see, he looked happy. We have faith he can improve, motivated and inspired. Maybe Martial's going to come up with something following that team talk. I also want to tell Sidibe that he needs to calm down a little bit. I'm going to say it assertively as well. I need you to watch your step to avoid another booking. And other than that, Ruben Neves is getting a little bit tired along with Sidibe. But of course, we do have reinforcements on the bench. I'm just hoping to maybe try and nick another goal and then we'll just try and seal it out a bit. It's Alaba, plays it forward to Martial. Alaba now. Eriksen's managed to win the ball back. Kyle Walker coming down the right-hand side. Comes inside to Eriksen. Walker's got loads of room out there on the right, but Alaba closes him down well. Does what he does best. He doesn't really give him a second to breathe on the ball. As Gribbin strikes a free kick from distance. Danny Rose has collected the loose ball though. Plays it forward to Lamela now. There might be some sort of counter-attack here on from Spurs if they stop playing it sideways. It's Roberto Firmino out to Rose. Sidibe gets beaten. It's Lamela with a shot from distance. The first time for a long time Spurs have had any threat on our goal, and it did go wide of the post. But the 54th minute now, we've started to get this possession by the scruff of the neck. We might start to look to make changes, but we'll just give it another few minutes. Sidibe to Sanchez. Sanchez plays it to Gribbin on the inside. Gribbin's coming back round. He's beat one man. Martial to Rashford. Rashford spurns the chance. It does go wide of the post. And Gribbin takes a resulting corner. Martial tries meeting it. Doesn't manage to get there. It's Sanchez on the ball. Poor cross back in. Bentaleb's picked it back up for Spurs. And now Keita's got it on the wing. It's played out to Felipe Anderson, but cut out by Sidibe. It's Callum Gribbin. Pogba from distance. What a shot by Pogba. Saved by Hugo Lloris. Forced a corner. We're on the 63rd minute. We're probably going to make a change or two in a moment. We'll just see how this plays out. It's Pogba now. Plays it inside, loses out to Dembele. Does manage to intercept the pass, but we are back on the ball. 64th minute. It's Eric Bailly. Smalling. Sanchez. Plays it to Rashford. Sanchez again. Gribbin with a great ball over to Sidibe. He will cross it. He does do. Sanchez. Oh, he just arrived late. You thought he was going to absolutely tank it into the bottom corner. Nothing came of it. He played the ball instead. He should have just absolutely wellied that one. It's Martial now to Rashford. Martial again to Pogba. Pogba's got time here. Puts it wide of the post. Not good enough by Paul Pogba. We're now going to start looking at making some substitutions. Ruben Neves getting a little bit tired there. We'll bring on Fosu Mensah. And we're also going to bring on Darmian for a little bit tired being Sidibe. And hopefully, 25 minutes to go. We might have it in the bag. But let's not speak yet because I've got a funny feeling here. It's Gribbin to Pogba. Pogba to Rashford. Rashford to Martial. Martial with a shot from distance once again. Hugo Lloris. Now that's only, surprisingly, our third shot on target, which shows how poor we've been in front of goal today. Bailly nods one to the back post, but Keita now will take it out. Hoofs it forward. Spurs are going to get nothing from that. We do win the possession back. 20 minutes to go. Spurs not really offering a right lot here. So I'm going to just give the chaps a sort of concentrate team talk there. We don't want them losing their heads. Don't want anything going wrong here. That doesn't need to go wrong. Gribbin over a free kick, hits it straight at the wall. We've got 10 minutes to go nearly. And I'm starting to think that we should try and protect this 1-0 lead. Stop them from scoring the away goal. Because if we can go to White Hart Lane and grab one goal, well, basically they'll be up shit street, won't they? So we're going to make a substitution. And based on the fact that Rashford's having a poorer game, I'm going to bring on Ander Herrera. Then I'm just going to continue that a second, but we will go to the tactics in just a second here. As soon as it lets us, there we go, we'll go to the overview. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop Ander Herrera in the middle. Fosu Mensah can sit behind. So we've just put an extra man in at the back, and we'll also go defensive on the wing backs so that we're not getting beat down any of the wings. There's only 10 minutes to go, mind. And also, we're going to go to the team instructions and we're just going to retain possession. And hopefully that'll be enough. I'll also switch it to contain once we get into the game as well. I should have done that on the last screen, but hey ho. But yeah, hopefully this will be enough to just hold the game off. It's Martial into Herrera, who's of course up in the forward position until he sorts his shit out. Now he should drop to the midfield. But we're just going to drop it down from control to contain. And hopefully we've done enough to keep Tottenham out. But Walker, Jesus fucking Christ. So you get to the last 10 minutes, you do everything in your power to maintain the lead, to stop that away goal from going in. And of all fucking people, right back, Kyle Walker hits a screamer from the edge of the area and undoes everything I just did in my tactics to try and stop an attack from happening. Just deflated. Absolutely deflated. Pogba could have made me smile a bit there. Didn't happen. And yes, Spurs got their away goal, which means that we've got a tough ask, well not a tough ask, but we've got to go to White Hart Lane and we've got to search for goals to ensure that we can get ourselves through to the final. Just depressing. So just what we are going to do is it's not going to really do anything because we're in the final highlight. I'll just chuck it on attacking in case it told the lads anything. We all know it's not going to. Something's going to happen here. They're going to lose the ball and it will just be blow the final whistle. And there we go. Full time. Not a horrific result and certainly something we can turn around, but infuriating when you go out of your way to stop that goal going in and literally just as everything comes together. So Herrera had just been up top. It just changed his position to midfield, so we knew we'd drop Fosu Mensah into a little bit of a deeper role. We dropped the wing backs to play more defensive. And then literally as it all clicks into place, yeah, you get fucked for it. And that's what's really, really wound me up. So yeah, I'm going to assertively tell the guys that not good enough. We should have won the match because we should have. The shocking thing is how bad the strikers played. So I'm aggressively going to tell him that I'm not happy with his performance tonight. Other than that, there's no one worth telling that they did perform well. So yeah, just a bit of a downer. Need to make sure that I protect the guys during the next game so that I've got the strongest squad possible for that return leg against Tottenham. But for now, it could go either way. So there we have it then, guys. That's the end of episode 22. Not the result we were looking for, but we're not dead in the water yet. We've got another leg where we can go down to White Hart Lane, hopefully perform better than we did earlier on in the season when we got a 3-1 beating, as you can see in the middle of the screen here. But my biggest concern comes around the strikers, and as soon as I fucking lost both Ibra and Depay, I always felt that it was going to be too much of an ask if you put the weight of the whole series, the season, the whole thing that's been going on with the Fergie Way here on two young strikers. I was concerned that it wasn't going to come off, and at the moment it's not. However, they do have the chance to redeem themselves in the next leg, so with a little bit of luck we can get there. For tomorrow night's episode though, we are going to come back for the West Ham game. Now that's the game that sits directly in between this one and the return leg of Tottenham. So the episodes are going to be close together, but it should make them shorter for you guys. But equally, it's the one where we can win the league, and I think we should be there. Well, I think we only need a point, or even if Tottenham do anything less than win the game, we're going to win the league. So we'll come back for that one, and we'll see the team hopefully get themselves a bit of silverware. And the great bonus there is, if it gives them a little bit of a boost going into the second leg of the semi-final against Spurs, great news, and equally may damage the morale of Spurs, considering at the moment they're numerically still in with a chance. Unfortunately, when you consider we've got 3 games left in the league and all we need is a point, we all know that chance is so slim. But maybe the computer doesn't, and it might just drop their morale a bit as we go into that second leg. So if you've enjoyed today's episode, hit the like button. If you think I look like a dick with my hat on, hit the like button. If you've been enjoying this series, drop me a comment, see how you think it's been going. I've been enjoying it. It's been absolutely mint. If you're new around here, hit the sub button, check out the description there, you'll see the Season 1, Season 2 review, or of course just head over to my channel. I've got them set up in playlists, so Season 1 in a playlist, Season 2 in a playlist, and Season 3 in a playlist. And other than that, I hope to see you in tomorrow night's episode, where of course we're hoping to win the Premier League. Other than that, I've been Teacher Fem, and I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.